Hello everyone, this is going to be a follow-up to one of the previous videos about changing the sheet size and the base sizes for a bunch of the molds. So for one of the recent videos we showed that we were, some of the lines and defects sort of things or issues you get in different sheet sizes of plastic, and some of the molds we were getting in larger molds. We ran them now in the new larger sheet size. And if you remember from the other video, we were getting lines in the back window here. These are gone now. There is still a little one from the top of the window down, but that's it. Then this one also had it bad originally. This is a different one than we kind of saw before. Had it in the hood here. Now it's got a little bit there still, but it was much worse before. I was bringing it way down towards the tip of the bumper before, and those circles in the corners were coming way out as well. So this body is fabulous compared to what it was. This one, the Greenwood, also same thing, much better. They still got the line here because of the high sides here. There's not really much gonna be able to do about that, but we don't have any repeating sort of elements anywhere in it, so it's much better. I think even on the front, it's in the wheel well pretty much only, and that's it. So that's good. Then we also did the much larger Andes Corvette. Now, at first glance, this looks pretty good, right? No, it is bad. This is a big failure. This mold, I think, is just going to be too big for the way we're making bodies. If you can see here, it did not form correctly, and that's because it's not hot enough. The whole sheet has not gotten hot enough to form correctly and be sucked down around the edges of the mold. So that's, you would think, okay, well, that's pretty simple, just increase the time. Here's what you get when you increase the time. Forms better, but then you get this, webbing right there, webbing right there, and there, some other spots depending on how much time. And that's an issue because the plastic has now stretched and it's drooping so much in the holder that it's got to go somewhere, and the mold the plastic's drooping in a curve shape, and the mold comes up into it and it bends it and twists the plastic around, and you get this sort of look to it. And unfortunately, there's not much I can do about it. Maybe a bigger sheet size would still help. You can see we're pushing it back here in the back a little bit. But I seriously doubt it. I think the real answer is going to be to change how we make the bodies like this size. This is the only one that's this size, so I'm really seriously debating whether it's going to be worth the time and hassle to do it. But let me show you what's going on here. So this is set up for the smaller parts we just ran, but this has what's called a platen, lower platen down here. That's where the mold attaches to, or the buck attaches to, and then it comes up in. Now, you're fighting when you get to a sheet size the droop from the warm plastic. The mold comes up in and it pushes that droop up, cools the droop as well as it's being pushed up. And then that plastic bunches up in places and you get what we have on the Corvette. Now, this machine had an option. I didn't get it with it, kind of regretting it now, but it was a lot of extra money on top of it, of what we were already paying. But would have put cross members up, and you would have had what's called an upper platen. And you would attach the mold then to that platform, and it would come down into your droop of plastic and be formed. That would probably take care of the situation. Unfortunately, my machine is now set up for that. I would assume if we were doing that, they would have added more buttons and everything in here to control, because we have an up and down for the lower one right now. They probably would have added a couple more. There'd be at least another relay for the valve for that, for the piston. Then you got to run the air hose, air supply for the vacuum up there. Plus you got to run the air eject line up there as well. So I think at this point, the Andes mold, the big wedge vet mold, is going on the shelf, not to be touched for a considerable amount of time. I just don't have time to deal with it. Everything else is going so much better. This is one mold that, to be honest, is probably not a huge amount of demand for. compared to the other ones. So I think we're gonna let it go. I know there's been talk of someone else remaking this mold, and you know what? If they want to do it, more power to them. One mold is just not worth my time. I mean, we burned through a lot of plastic today, probably $60 worth of plastic trying to get this correct, and it's not worth it anymore. Wasted too much money and time on it. We'll keep the sheet size we've been doing for these because it did come out better. Then the other one we've got is this. So we did these gear covers in a smaller sheet size. You can see pretty small. It's like 5 by 7 and something maybe. Now this is the issue we were running into before when we were trying to run them all, a bunch of gear covers and wings and everything on a mold at the same time. You're trying to get each one to come out perfect, but as you make changes to your settings, other ones don't come out as well. And this is what we were getting webbing with this one. So we went to this, and on the very first pull, this was the last mold we did today. It came out great. It's beautiful, absolutely beautiful, awesome. We also did some Jerex 2 gear cover things, non-slipper ones. Those came out beautiful, better than we probably had before. Then we had some RC10 gear covers. Those came out better than we've ever done ourselves or anywhere else. All of these came out better today than we've had done anywhere else, more consistent. We had 3 defects out of the whole bunch. 3, and that was only the first mold, the RC10 one. That was the first one we did, trying to get the timing and settings down correct. Once we had that correct, we just went over to this one, bumped up a few seconds the heat time for this one. Things were perfect. It was awesome. So if you'd like to see, I'm gonna do another video here that shows how this platform's kind of created and mold base is set up. So if you would like to see that, look for that in another video. I'll try to put a link here at the end, but that's the end of this video. Have a good day.